we have 3 weeks, like 3.5 weeks. And that's just not enough time. How did I get myself into this mess? Or how did I get us into this mess of pulling all-nighters? And we were working so hard. There was a lot of pressure. We felt like we didn't want to do this anymore. And how did we get here? And will the Airstream be finished on time to be on location in 3.5 weeks to be part of this film? Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Three weeks. I don't know. Let's go see what he says. I was contacted by an assistant producer who was involved in a film that needed a vintage Airstream. So I thought, well, we have a vintage Airstream. The producer of this film was also an associate professor to a local university in the Department of Electronic Media. It would be kind of a good cause to help them out and contribute. All we would have to do is hook it up, tow it, and spend a couple hours on set. It was going to be an outdoor location, and it wouldn't take, but they said maybe half a day, a couple hours, to shoot the scenes where our Airstream would be. Sounds really simple, but it turned out not to be, because that Airstream is not our Airstream. That one is an Airstream that looks like ours, except ours is gutted. It's got a big dent on the outside. Ours is more like a project Airstream. Like everything else in our life, it's a rehab. Six months ago, we moved everything that's on the inside, and you can see that it's in our driveway. So everything inside got moved to the outside because we had to assess what needed to be repaired. We already knew there were rotted floor and there were electrical and plumbing issues, and where the tree limb had fallen on one of the rear left upper panel, that had to be replaced. We had already started kind of buffing the outside just to see what would be involved in buffing it ourselves. It's a lot of work. So by the time I had already talked to assistant producer, I had already told him that we could use our Airstream, but we were in the process of rehabbing it, that we would just bring it as is. And he kind of said, well, is there any way that you could put some of the things back into it so it could look like when it's being filmed in a couple of the scenes that someone could be living in it? Someone could be living in it. So I had to check with my other half. Hey, I got some good news and bad news. Which do you want first?
Give me the bad news and then get out.
You can stop polishing the Airstream. We stopped polishing it a month ago in here. They need to film several scenes inside the trailer, which means if we could just put it back partially or put some things back in.
So from empty to back together.
Back together. But I didn't promise him that we were gonna have it done.
Okay.
Well, that's part of the bad news.
Wait, that wasn't the bad news?
And the other half of the bad news is the filming is like in 3.5 weeks.
Like in 3.5 weeks.
Like in 3.5 weeks.